Thank you, thank you, thank you, my Lord. What a day. Well, thank you. I tell you, I love Jim. Jim, I want to thank you. You're the best friend anyone could have. I really mean it. You're incredible. And thank you, Liberation Choir. You are incredible. You know, you captured the spirit of what St. Augustine of my church said. He said, singing is praying twice. Yes. Well, you're praying 4 times. Now, I apologize for my back. Stand there, you're chilly. All right. Oh, God love you. You know, Jim, as I said, you're one of the best friends anybody could have. You're a student of history, teacher of history. This museum of history is one of your dreams. And Mayor Joe Riley, I don't know where Joe is. Joe is incredible. Joe, you, another dear friend who had a vision and fortitude to make this museum a reality. Reverend Joe Darby, God love you. Thank you. Thank you always for your friendship and your fellowship. And Dr. Tanya Matthews, who's just part of the official delegation, I took a trip to Angola because we're starting something major in Africa, and I wanted her to come along. I want to thank you very much and your fellow leaders here at the museum, including one of the great American landscape artists, Walter Hood, who makes work you're studying breathtaking. I'd like to also thank 2 outstanding members of my cabinet. Secretary of Vince Lloyd Austin, one of the best appointments ever made in my career. He's not only a warrior, he has a heart as big as his head. He's an incredible man. No, you are, Lloyd. You're first rate. And Administrator of Environmental Protection Agency, Michael Regan. Michael? Our extraordinary leaders and patrons and friends here. I want to thank you all, distinguished guests. Before I go any further, though, I do want to introduce my family. The love of my life and the life of my love, my daughter, Ashley Biden. Stand up, Ashley. Ashley's a social worker protecting abused women in Philadelphia. God love you, kid. And my son, Hunter Biden, the smartest man I know. And my grandson, named after his uncle, Bo's not here, Bo Biden. And that beautiful lady sitting next to Hunter is his wife. And guess what? She's from South Africa. Look, folks, as Jill and I shared, we felt that the power of prayer for so many of you across South Carolina has made a big deal for us. It's been a big deal for us, for real. That's why at our last full day in office, we wanted to be here with you in South Carolina. We started this morning in church to reflect on the power of faith in God and each other and our democracy. Here at this museum, we reflect on the power of history, redeeming the soul of a nation. I'm honored to be here and just toured this sacred ground, just as I toured another museum last month in Angola. In the wind and the waves, we could hear them. We could hear them. The young women and men, born free in the highlands of Angola, only to be captured, bound, and forced in a death march by slave traders in the year 1619. The start of a 250 years of slave trade across Africa and the Caribbean to the shores of America. The start of America's original sin. They were baptized into a foreign faith against their will. Their names were changed against their will. Condemned to slave ships bound for what they call the Middle Passage between Africa and America. Many did not survive the journey, and the many who did survive arrived in Charleston, excuse me, Gadsden Wharf, along the Cooper River. When their feet touched this land, iron shackles literally dug into their skin. They were forced to build an 840-foot wharf, the largest single port of entry for enslaved people in American history. And standing here, we hear them again in the wind and the waves, their pain, their fear, their anguish. But we also hear something else, their faith to survive, their faith in each other, their faith to hope pass through generations. This museum is so important because it embodies the trauma and the triumph of the African American experience. And it embodies the truth that Black history is American history. Black culture is American culture. And while there are those who want to erase history, some injustices are so heinous that they can never be buried, no matter how hard people try. We must know the good, the bad, and the truth about who we are. That's what great nations do. And we're a great nation. We're unique among nations. Our nation is not based on religion, ethnicity, or geography, or some ethnic component. We're the only nation in the world, the only one, history of the world, built on an idea. The idea was we're all created equal and deserve to be treated equally throughout our lives. Standing here, we know we've never fully lived up to that idea. But we've never walked away from it either. From slavery to emancipation, from the Civil War to the Civil Rights Movement, from the reckoning on race today, there's been a long line of Black patriots who've helped make the promise of America real for all Americans, who have helped us become the nation we say we are and want to be. And as my presidency comes to an end, I know how it started because of this movement. As we celebrate his life this weekend, I think of the deep influence Dr. King had on me as I was a kid coming out of school. I think about the people I grew up with as a lifeguard in the East, they call the bucket in Wilmington, and the projects. I was the only white guard, lifeguard, 19 guards there because I wanted to be part of the community. That's the guys I played ball with. East side of Wilmington, there was a guy named Mouse. Mousy was a good man. Mousy got a little trouble when he was younger. Mousy became my friend. We had faith in him. He became the leader of the NAACP in Delaware and also the head of the Longshoremen's Union. He passed away this month, but I think about all of you and so many people across the country of every race and background who have joined the work of redeeming the soul of this nation together. That's what this is about. Time and again, I've seen people open their hearts and change their minds and join hands and continue building the America of our shared dreams. I've tried to be a link between our history and our future, between our dreams and possibilities. I had the honor of serving with the first Black president, the first woman vice president. Let me say, Kamala Harris is an incredible leader, and I'm grateful for her partnership and the hope and aspiration she represented for so many people. Together we kept our commitment to have an administration that looks like America and taps into the full talents of America. I guaranteed we'd have an administration that looked like America. We had more women in the cabinet, more African Americans, including the first Black Secretary of Defense and a man of great honor. First Black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. We entered office facing one of the toughest periods in our history. We came out sooner by doing the work to beat the pandemic, to build the strongest economy in the world with some of the most significant investments ever made in all of American history, particularly for Black America, to address the sting of systemic racism and advancing racial equality in all we do, including executive action and police reform. to protect fundamental rights and freedoms, from the freedom to vote to the freedom to choose, to reassert America's leadership in the world, including our intense efforts that led to the release of hostages and the ceasefire war in Gaza and the end of the war between Israel and Hamas. A lot of people said we couldn't do it, but this community knew we could do it. In front of the White House, built by an enslaved people, we celebrated Juneteenth, a federal holiday that I named, and introduced the first black woman on the United States Supreme Court. And by the way, she's smarter than those guys. A promise I made here in South Carolina, I can go on, but the point is, we're proving that by remembering our history, we can make history. We know the battle for the soul of America continues. In this moment of strength of our institutions and democracy, the presidency, the Congress, the courts, a free and independent press, and yes, our institutions and our communities like this museum, they matter more than ever. To tell the truth of our nation, to stand up to what my dad said the worst of all sins was, the abuse of power. And I'm sure everyone gets a fair shot. That's what it's all about. To understand the journey of our democracy is difficult and ongoing, and the distance is short between peril and possibility. But we got to keep going. We owe it to all those who came before us here on these waters, and all those who are going to come after. Folks, there's so much we can do. We've got to stay involved. We've got to stay engaged. Let me close with where I started. My gratitude for all you've done for me. But most of all, for all you've done for our nation. Scripture says, I've been young and now I'm old, yet I've never seen the righteous forsaken. After all these years working alongside you, I have not seen the righteous forsaken. I love you all. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. My family owes you. We owe you. The nation owes you. May God keep the faith, and may God bless the souls of Sacred Place. God bless America.